Yeah.
Happy TCM Day, people. Sorry for our tardiness, as always. Anybody that expects us to start on time, don't expect us to start on time. It just never works out, no matter what.
But no, I just want to hear.
But we're happy. This was an intro.
Yeah.
This is our impromptu surprise watch along because it's Texas Chainsaw Massacre Day, August 18th, 1973.
50 years, right?
50. Well, according to the actual events, it's 50 years, but next year will be 50 years. Actually, there's going to be two big horror anniversaries next year. You're going to get Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and you're going to get My Beloved Black Christmas to be 50 also.
Oh, my Lord. Good
Yes.
stuff.
And I'll be 52. Ugh.
Oh, Jesus, Pat. Let's not talk about that.
I know. Wait, come on. Tell me Russell's going to hang out in the chat with us tonight because he's older than me. It makes me feel good about myself.
Oh, yeah,
I don't see him yet. So who's here? Yeah, I love Russell. He's my best friend now. It's like you got to come in every chat because at least I'm not the oldest one.
Neighbor Michael.
Who's out there? Yeah, we got Ryan in the chat. Why is the chat? Why I'm hitting the button? It's dragging. Why? Ryan's in the chat. Oh, our buddy Stefan's in the chat. Very cool. Greetings from the Grindhouse. What's going on? Good to see you again. Awesome.
Hello.
And my neighbor, where's Michael? He's I'm scrolling. And there it is. There's my buddy. No, not yet. Well, we're gonna do a countdown. Actually, Mike and I were just hanging out. So working on getting the electric to the man cave, and I just grilled up some London broil. So we were just chowing down on some London broil, having a couple of beers.
London broil. Look at
we're gonna watch. Yes, it was good. Oh, it was good too. I love London broil. That's my weakness.
Can I tell you? I went to 2 spirit stores today, and all the spirit stores I've been to 3 now in my area. They're all the same right now, so it's like I should probably stay away for a little bit.
I've learned that over the years. If you're looking for something and it's not there, just give it time because it's going to be there.
Yeah, I bought my Top Gun hat for Kenny Loggins tomorrow because they have the Top Gun.
Oh, nice. They have a Top Gun costume? Really?
It was an end cap. Yeah, and it's right near like all the when we're looking at the signage and the canvases. It's like that's how our store maps are laid out. They're like right near each other. So, but yeah, what else
nice.
I bought something else. I called you. I bought those shirts for us from Meyer. Those Halloween t-shirts.
Yes, my buddy Brett picked up a shirt for me because they sell them in a store that is nowhere near me. Their stores in Chicago. What's the name? It's Myers, Michigan. Right? But spelled differently.
Meyer, Meijer. Yeah, they're based out of Michigan.
Did they call it like Mayers or did they call it Myers?
It's Meyer. No joke. It's Meyer with a J.
It's just
it's Meyer with a J. Picked up our pack of Stella.
It's weird, but that's pretty cool.
Bought some Stella because that's what my one friend likes for our Kenny Loggins show tomorrow. Stella's good.
Oh, and
No
also
problem with Stella.
happy. Actually, I like Stella. I have no problem with Stella. My neighbor Liz, who my buddy in the chat bought the house from, she was a big Stella person. So anytime I went over there, they always drank Stella. I don't mind Stella. It's not a bad. It's actually a pretty decent tasting beer, and it's actually made by Anheuser-Busch, which is odd.
Isn't that
for it being decent?
Isn't that weird? Oh man.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good. And also, everybody out there, all you gamers, I'm not a gamer. All you gamers are celebrating because the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game came out today too. It wasn't just they made sure they released it on Texas Chainsaw Massacre Day. That's right. I've seen a lot of people playing the game. I'm not a gamer. You know, I gave up on games. I think the last game system I owned was the first Sega.
No kidding.
That's probably the last game system I actually owned. Yeah. I mean, my son does. My son's got Xbox 1, 2, and he plays tons of games online. As I get older, I just kind of grew out of them. And now, it is. I've learned I'm starting to get more and more like, yeah, exactly. Atari. Yes, I'm learning more. I'm getting more and more like my dad because I just want like a joystick and a button. I want to read. I don't want to have to read. I just want to play the game.
There's too much to do in these games. That's why I kind of gave up. I traded in my PlayStation to get the kids the Switch. So there's just way too much, dude.
Yeah, the
original Sega was good.
Too
they
much.
Had that Rocky game. The Rocky game pissed me off.
I love the original Sega. It was awesome. Yeah. I wish I had all those goddamn games. Yeah. Oh, I had. This was my favorite game system.
ColecoVision.
ColecoVision. That was my favorite game system. Love ColecoVision. Donkey Kong Jr. was my game.
No, Donkey Kong Jungle, right? Is it Donkey Kong Jr.
Venture.
The Jungle one? Was it Donkey Kong Jungle or something like that? Or no? It was Junior. Is that where you had the
the original one
was
just Junior. Yeah, I remember. Yep, I remember having the Junior one, and then having Venture, which was like you had the sword. It was like the sword adventure one. Oh man, good times, good shit. See, they have they might even have it. I don't know that. What's that?
Oh, they have the Atari Greatest Hits.
Would you freeze?
You're in ColecoVision's like all the greatest hits they have like on.
That's what I was gonna say. I know they have the Atari system that you can buy with all the classic games. Do they have a ColecoVision one too?
I thought, well, at least there was a disc. I thought for one of the video game consoles that you had all the games on one disc, but I could be wrong. There's the one game, what, Keystone Capers or Keystone Coppers? Did you ever play that game?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Or Pitfall. Pitfall was fun.
Oh god. Pitfall? Yeah, Pitfall was good.
Look at
Donkey Kong Country.
Oh, Country was for SNES. Okay, that's where Diddy Kong was.
Oh, Cubert and Frogger. Yeah, Cubert and Frogger. Remember having Cubert and Frogger. Oh, what's up? Cubert. Wow, what's up, Dave? Haven't seen you in a while. How's everything going, man?
Dave. How you doing? We also, I remember, what was it? Galaga was a part of that.
And if you guys have the Texas Chainsaw Massacre card game, is expensive.
Oh God, it's made by the same company as the Halloween game, right?
Yeah, Wizard Games. Right yeah. So if you have it's pretty much the same shit. They just basically rebranded it.
It's the same.
I've never played that. I had the original game, so it's the same shit.
Oh God.
But boy, you've been trying to play it all day long and take some time. Yeah, I've been seeing it all over social media. Everybody's like addicted to it, and they're all trying to play it, and it's just not my thing. But hey, everybody enjoy it, man. That's cool.
Good. It looks really.
You guys get into it? I'm happy for you.
It looks really cool.
I'm happy for you. So let's say we get into some Chainsaw Massacre.
Let's
say we start this biatch.
And what did John Larroquette
I just had it up here and I lost it. Hold on.
That's the first trivia on IMDb.
Did you get anything?
It says you got a joint. That's what it says.
Is it really?
Yeah, that's what it says. If it's true or not,
that's hysterical. I'm just John
Larroquette, his payment for doing the opening narration was a marijuana joint. Yes. I'm ready.
Nice. That's awesome. I love that. He must have been a piss at a party with Larroquette in the day. So I have it all queued up. Everybody have theirs all set and ready to go. I'm watching. I'm watching on Shudder. What are you watching it on? Are you watching it on the DVD,
on the
Blu-ray?
On the Peacock.
What? On the cock?
On the cock, on the
He's watching
peacock.
on the
What kind of
cock.
cunt does that?
I gotta get some new ones out. I have to go.
swear
I have to go through. Yeah.
Oh, the opening every time
God
I hear
bless
our opening,
Franklin.
Pat. I'm waiting to hear Danielle Harris scream still. I still have that Pat in my head, by the way.
Oh, do you? Oh, Southwest, what's up?
Hi, Southwest. Hello, hello. Okay, well, sorry. I'm ready whenever you're. 83 minutes we've got.
Yeah,
here.
the grandfather was. He was. Yeah, they just docked him up to look old. All right, so let's do a countdown. Everybody got is all queued up. I'm watching on Shudder, so if you, it's actually free on a lot of places, but I have a Shudder account, so I'm just watching on Shudder. So do a countdown. 3, 2, 1. Hit play.
The grandpa is probably
So
a
you should see
grandpa
Vortex
now.
Henkel Hooper.
He wasn't a
Yeah.
grandpa if he's 30
Is
years
he
old
still
here.
alive?
Now he is. That's a good question.
So I see who's dead now. Obviously Gunnar Hansen's dead. Toby Hooper's
Didn't the main
dead.
girl die finally?
The woman, I'm drawing a blank on her name,
Burns?
but she played
Yeah,
Sally
Marilyn Burns
Hardesty.
died.
She's dead.
Marilyn Burns died in 2014.
What about
2014.
Yeah, that's why they didn't bring her back for the Netflix film, because she had already passed. I'm surprised he didn't do more like voiceover. He had the right voice for it.
Oh, Franklin's dead. The guy in the wheelchair.
And Franklin's dead too. I bet to look it up, and I just didn't get a chance to. I was just curious who was left. Now, what about the girl who gets hung on the meat hook? Her boyfriend, who
Pam's
gets
still alive. Terry
hit over the freaking head
Pam's
with the
still
with the
The old
August
man
18th,
is dead.
1973. There it is.
The old man is dead.
He is dead. He is dead, huh?
20 years. Well, we know Gunnar Hansen's dead.
Mm-hmm. And Toby Hooper.
John Dugan, the grandfather, Duggan, whatever, Hacksaw John Duggan, he's still alive.
I saw John Duggan. Nice. He's still alive?
He's still alive.
Wow. I'm surprised you don't see him appear at conventions.
John Larroquette's still
Because I'm
alive.
trying to think, who do you usually see at conventions? Well, Larroquette, yeah, of course.
Used to see Gunnar Hansen a lot, but you really don't see that many people
I remember
from
Gunnar
this movie.
Yeah, that's why I was trying to think to myself, like, who's left, who's still alive? Because I remember Gunnar Hansen always being at conventions. He always did them. Never met him, but everybody had nothing but nice things to say about him.
We must be on a little bit of delay. I feel bad. Like maybe it's on my end. I don't know.
Why are you hearing? It's not getting to you? Is it slow?
Yeah, like I think you're hearing me later than you typically hear me. You know.
Yeah, I wonder. Trying to see, because usually I get a little thing in the corner that tells me if the internet's crap, but I don't see anything, so I don't know if it's me or not.
I don't know if it's Moa either.
Yeah. Greetings from the Grindhouse. Met Gunnar. I did meet him because admittedly, everybody knows I pretty much just collect Halloween stuff. But I heard nothing but nice things. I heard he was super nice. Really appreciative of the fans.
He was a good dude. Man, how about the news with Trick or Treat Studios officially coming out today, huh? About the licenses.
What did I miss? I was busy as hell. What was the news?
The licenses for 2 and 3. They're get anything you want while it lasts at Trick or Treat Studios for 2 and 3. Those licenses are done for them at the end.
Halloween
of the
2 and 3. Why they're losing it?
Yeah.
Of course it is, because if there's stuff I want, I don't want to spend any more money before age 45, so I have to go spend it.
I think the only thing I'm like shockingly I don't have is the Haddonfield Hospital sign. You gotta get that.
I actually do have that. I bought it at
Convention.
one of the sideshow markets. I got it. The actors were annoyed by Franklin. Stefan, so were we. We were just talking about Franklin last night when we were watching. Was it last night? Or was it the night before?
Is it Franklin?
No, Wednesday night when we watched Freddy vs. Jason.
Franklin's the colored boy in Charlie Brown too, right?
And he was the one in the wheelchair.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah, when we were
Did
watching
you
Freddy
ever see
versus
that?
Jason, that one the one annoying guy at the party, it was
You
Franklin.
you
What's
can't
that?
tell me that Thanksgiving Charlie Brown, where Franklin's on one side and everybody else is on the other, that happened intentionally.
Oh yeah. I don't know. It's yeah. I mean, it's
Rough
we
subject.
know he's
Sorry,
canceling it. So.
no comment. Hey, Toby Hooper's dead though. You got Toby Hooper's passed.
Yes, Toby's gone.
You believe this is the same guy that did fucking Poltergeist?
Maynard is I'm watching this film. Oh really? Well, yeah, but he also was under the shoestrings of Spielberg. So
Yeah. Pat, maybe I should sign back in and sign out and see if it works. Okay. Because we're definitely delayed.
let's see if you can. Okay, yeah, go ahead, jump out. Okay. All right, we'll let Brady jump in because yeah, he was getting a little bit of a delay there. So maybe I don't see it on my end, so but maybe it was on his end. Yeah, the lighting. Got to say, for what this is to me, this is arguably like the people can argue, but to me, this was like the first grindhouse film. That gritty, like dirt look, like that sweaty, especially because you know how hot it is in Texas. And but that yeah, the opening with the lighting at the cemetery, super cool. Let's see, better,
How are we doing? We doing good?
much better now. Yeah,
We're alive.
you're not talking like a Godzilla movie. Like, I'll be right back.
Dude, this Franklin guy, we were just talking about Jack Black. Couldn't Jack Black play this guy?
Oh, so he could have easily. Yeah,
There he goes, spy.
this is this is good. Yeah, the heavy grain's awesome. He goes flying down on the wheelchair. And he was such a whiny bitch too. He's so
He
annoying.
was. He was. What he's done for, I'm fine with it. What's he got? What
Well,
candy bars he
and
got?
it's
Is that a
funny
Baby
because
Ruth?
I've watched this with people over the years and say like, why was it a Baby Ruth? I didn't notice that.
I
Baby
don't know. Sorry.
Ruth.
What were you saying?
And people are like,
I'm
why would you
sorry.
pick up a hitchhiker? But people got to remember, back in the early '70s, hitchhiking was still a big thing. People used to pick people up all the time. I mean, look at how many people Ted Bundy killed in the '70s because people used to hitchhike and it was still a thing.
It was. Yeah, our counterpart.
See, I wish Joe was here
because he's been there. He's our counterparts. This is a
that's why I was about to say I wish Joe was here because Joe has been here and he can tell us more about this. Like, I'm wondering if that cemetery is not that far from the gas station.
I guess Marilyn Burns. I guess bras weren't really a thing as much back then, was it?
And the funny thing is, obviously she's not cold because it's like 8,000 degrees out. So it's not necessarily a true story. It's actually the character is loosely based on Ed Gein, the serial killer who dressed up in people's skin. Yeah. So it's really not. Oh, of course, I'm out of my beer. I got to open up from Wisconsin. Yeah, Ed Gein was a killer, and actually, it's not just Leatherface. Who else? Norman Bates was based on him. Hannibal was based on him.
You had a lot of those killers around there. You had Bundy, you had Gacy. Yeah.
Yeah. You had
recently.
Well, he was a little bit later. I think he was
time,
early '80s. At Richard
Dahmer
Ramirez
was '90s. Richard Ramirez, you mean, right? Out in California.
Richard Ramirez,
the guy that went from like bus to bus, and they were tracking him for hours.
Well, he was. Well, did you ever see that he was actually on the dating game?
Oh, somebody said something about that.
Go look it up. Look at Richard Ramirez on the dating game. He was a contestant on the dating game, and he actually won. But the girl didn't want to go. The girl that was supposed to go out with him wouldn't go out with him because she was creeped out by him.
Well, just by looking at him,
Good God, it looks like an H.G. Lewis conference in the scene. Nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Travis, what's going on?
Hey, Travis.
Oh, it is.
Oh, there's no doubt, Travis.
This movie
This is
makes you feel.
disgusting.
After you watch this
Dirty.
film, you feel like you need to shower.
Yeah, you need a shower.
it is.
Cold shower.
It makes you feel like you need to shower when you're done.
Everything's
Because
just
everybody's
dirty,
sweaty and it's just
sloppy.
yeah. Like I said, arguably to me, this is like the first like grindhouse film.
I gotta tell you though, when they got her tied up and they got the old man with the hammer, just like, just drop it. It's so weird. Hit her again. Hit her again.
But it was weird because when you watch, you get up to that point, it's like true horror what's going on. But then they come to that when she wakes up because she's passed out, and then there's Leatherface with a different man with a different face on, with lipstick and everything, and they're all just acting like goofballs. You go from being like, wow, this is fucked up, to just starting laughing, and you just laugh through the rest of the film.
Yeah, Stefan, I have no idea if Joe might have fallen asleep. Joe might be at a Target. He might be out to dinner with his significant other.
Yeah, Targets are closed by now. He said he was going to jump on, but
I'm so
I have a feeling
sorry.
that Joe passed out. He must have fell asleep. Yeah, Joe doesn't stay up as late as we do. So I threw this out there, and he said, "Yeah, he was all into it." But I'm like, "Yeah, let's see if he stays awake."
Yes, this guy's an animal. The hitchhiker. He's just a rotten.
Marilyn's finger was really cut for that. What was it? Did they really cut her finger?
Really? Wow.
Do you guys think this is the most terrifying horror movie of the 70s? Probably not, because most people would probably argue The Exorcist would be the first one, would be the scariest. This might be the most shocking of the 70s. Because
you got to think about,
but most people would probably argue that the scariest would be Exorcist.
This type of movie was ahead of its time. Definitely ahead of its time.
Way ahead of its time.
Yeah, they definitely read.
Oh yeah, Steph. If you want, there's a couple of different documentaries. A lot of shit went on. A lot of shit that went on behind the scenes, where a lot of people got hurt. A lot of them had heat exhaustion.
The blood on her body is real when she's getting chased. Yeah, the blood on her body, some of it's real.
Yeah, it's all.
Chased. That's right.
Yeah, they put their heart and soul, their blood, sweat, and tears into this, physically.
Yeah, I was reading here. What is it, Gunnar Hansen?
One thing I never noticed, like,
which one?
He was what?
No, he was actually pretty fast.
We're definitely getting a delay again. I wonder if it's me.
No, I think we talk over each other on accident.
We got a delay again going.
Really?
I don't know. My question is this: does he actually have that like red scar on his face in real life, or is that put there?
That's a good question. It looks like something
like that birthmark.
Real.
It looks real. Mike, my neighbor's on his back deck watching in the dark. He's scared. Let's come up and scare you.
So, yeah, it said Marilyn Burns persuaded Gunnar Hansen to take the role. He didn't want to take it because of the disturbing nature of the movie. So,
the story for this one was scariest for me because my uncle told me it was a true story after he showed it to me and said he was still alive. It's just scared as shit. Yeah, nice. This one eluded me for like a good year or so, because I remember back in the early 80s, I figure I saw Halloween for the first time in 1980. Then I saw Halloween 2 in 81 in the theater. And then there was a rise of video stores. And then around that time, we got our first VCR. And I remember going and looking in the horror section, and I kept seeing this Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, and I was intimidated. I'm like, I don't know if I'm ready for that. I love horror, but I'm like, I don't know if I'm ready for that. And then one day I finally said, fuck it, let me rent it. And I was like, holy shit. And most people don't understand, like, especially younger kids, like my kids, don't understand how they are so desensitized to violence. But back then, you didn't see any of this shit.
No.
Back in the early 80s, cable was still in its infancy where I grew up. So not a lot of people had pay channels where you could see full-fledged movies with everything that you saw in the theater. And back then, I tell people this, they don't seem to remember this. I remember when we first got a cable with HBO and Cinemax, they came on at 6 o'clock at night, and then they ended at 2 a.m. and they wouldn't show any radar movies until 8 o'clock. So it was a much different time.
You brought up the VHS stuff, and that was the first impression I ever had. I love that original VHS cover like that. Remember that? That's what I used to see as a kid in the video store.
That's the one I saw.
Time.
Yep. I brought the poster up on the background because I love that image. But that's the one I used to see in the theater and the video store.
Yeah. Pat, I'll be right back. I got to take care of something.
Do it up. We're here. Travis, not sure if it happens in this version, but I love the part in the remake where R. Lee Ermey gets the crap. The remake of this, the 2003 remake, and we're going to do a 20th anniversary. I wrote it down in the calendar. Who hit me up and told me about that? Somebody hit me up, and I put it on the calendar to do a watch along. It's on a Tuesday. I don't know if it was somebody in the chat or somebody else. So we're going to do a live watch along on the 20th anniversary. That is my favorite remake. There's a lot of remakes out there. And I can't remember if we did it on our old podcast. I don't know if we did it on this podcast. We did a top 5 remake. My favorite remake, best remake ever, hands down. Sorry, the Chainsaw Massacre remake in 2003. Love it. So we'll be doing the 20th anniversary of that. I wrote it down. I think it's October. Shit, I want to say October 17th. It's a Tuesday, so we'll be doing a watch along of that. Because I forget who the hell hit me up and told me about it. And I was like, shit. So I put on, October 17th. We'll be doing a live watch long because it'll be the 20th anniversary. Was that you, James? I knew somebody told me about it. Thank you. I remember that was you that told me about it today. So I put it right on the calendar. So we're doing a live watch along on the 17th. Big time. Because that's my favorite remake. Next closest remake for me would be Invasion of the Body Snatchers, 78. That's just an amazing movie. Let's see. Right, they did last night. Try living in Africa. I'm assuming you're talking about the heat. Have you ever lived in Africa, Southwest? I can only imagine how freaking hot it is. Yeah, remake. I can't remember if we did it on our old podcast, but we did go through our top 5 remakes, and that was hands down best remake. Sorry, Hills Have Eyes that's a good remake too. That probably would make my top 5. What you got there? More power to you. But hey, I loved the Dawn of the Dead. There was and I'm not saying it's the best ever for me personally. Out of the material, to me, it's my favorite remake. But Dawn of the Dead remake is good. And The Fly is amazing, of course. Yeah, God. I think we might have to bring that back on one of the podcasts and revisit like our top 5 or even top 10 remakes. Like even me, I'm a Halloween guy. I don't hate the Rob Zombie remake. It probably wouldn't make my top 5, but I there's aspects of it I like. But some remakes are just complete ass. Namely, the worst remake ever is the Psycho remake. That was just it was basically a shot for shot remake, and it's just complete garbage, waste of time and film. Yeah, the Night of the Living. It's nice to see that more love is going the way of the '90 remake, because I liked it. A lot of people shit all over it. I'm a big fan of. Actually, my son will tell you his favorite horror movie. My son, who's 21, is telling you his favorite horror movie is the original Night of the Living Dead. I introduced him to him when he was a kid. He loves it. Him and I went to the theater for the 50th anniversary screening, and they had this whole big hoopla, and we just loved it. And I know he's seen the remake. He likes it, but of course, he's more partial. I'm more partial to the first one. Actually, you guys go vote, because I didn't close it out yet. Go on. I put up a poll because we couldn't figure out. We were trying to decide what to do for our next watch along on Monday night. So I said, well, let's throw it out there and let's let everybody else choose. instead of us just choosing every week. So far, Creep Show was in the lead. So I put up, I said, you can vote on either Creep Show, Night of the Creeps, American Werewolf in London, or the Night of the Living Dead 90 remake. So go vote. So I'll probably shut it down tomorrow, and we'll decide what we're going to watch on Monday night. So far, Creep Show is the front runner, and American Werewolf in London is running second. So we'll see where it goes from there. Yeah, the Nightmare on Elm Street remake was complete. Well, our buddy Joe is not here, but it was complete ass cheeks. Yes, Psycho. Exactly. You can't even. You're right, Ryan. You can't even call it a remake. It was a complete reshoot, shot for shot, and it was complete garbage. Garbage. Hey, Matt Russell, what's up, buddy? Figured you meant favorite remakes of the era. In that case, it'd be definitely. Yep. See, it's the same thing. And True Grit. Wow, True. That's good movie. And The Thing. Yeah, because people tend to forget that The Thing is a remake. It's good that you brought that up. See, this is I love. I wish Joe was here, and he must have fell asleep. Let me check and see if he reached out. I reached out to him, but he didn't answer me back. He must be freaking sleeping, because Joe has been at this gas station. For those that don't know, in Bastrop, Texas, this gas station that they're at right now is a tourist attraction. You can go stay there. There's cabins. They have a whole store of collectibles, almost like a convention, and they do conventions there. Like Joe was just there like a week or two ago, and Danielle Harris was there. So they made a whole thing, and it looks exactly the same. So I wish he was here because he could talk to us about it. And if those go back and watch the one, I forget what episode we were doing. We were doing a podcast, and him and his lovely wife to be were staying at the gas station, and then they actually brought in the guy. Oh, when we ranked the Halloween movies, when we had our buddy Colin Murdy on with us, go back and watch that episode. Joe and his lovely wife to be were actually staying at the gas station that night, and the guy that ran the store, he brought him in, and he was giving us his ranking as well. So go back and watch it. It was a lot of fun. I just sent you the picture of my neighbor's pug who looks like Will Patton. Really? What did you say? Oh, I just said it on Instagram. You want me to bring it up? I can bring it up and show everybody. It's entire, but if you don't want me to, I'll just figure out ask first. That's funny. Yep, that's Joe. Straight up ass cheeks. Joe's problem is Joe can't stay. He was having some health issues, and so he's on some medication. So it tends to lend it to him not being able to stay up too late anymore. Yeah, there's a lot of good remakes out there, but to me, I don't know. The 2003 remake, man, I remember seeing it in the theater. I walked out, I was like, wow, that was not what I expected. It was good. Assault on Precinct 13 was a good remake. RoboCop, yeah, they don't come near yet because I'm a Carpenter junkie, so the OG is great. But no, they're good movies to watch. I'll say that. This always cracked me up. Well, we're past that part because I've been flapping my gums. Where every time he keeps walking back and forth, and the guy keeps washing his window. Every time he moves, the guy leaves with the wash bucket, goes back and forth. That was just cracking me up. So that's what's good about this, because it's such a shocking. The name of the film itself is shocking enough. The content is shocking enough, but then once the whole scene, after she wakes up and they're at the family table, at that point, to me, it's yeah, of course, it was shocking for the time, but there's such a big comedy element to that, because you can't help but laugh. But when you watch this, you see how hot and like everybody's sweaty. It says like I said, you need to shower when you're done. I might have to shower before. My buddy Mike, my neighbor in the chat, we're gonna hang out probably after this, and I'm like, I might have to shower because I'm gonna feel filthy after this. Every time I watch this film, it's like, all right, I gotta go shower. Travis says, technically a sequel, but the 2010 Predators follows the original film plot so close yet still imagine. I admittedly have not seen it. I have to go back and watch it. There's a few films. I do have a laundry list of ones I need to fill the blanks in that I haven't had a chance to watch over the years, and that's definitely one of them. Is that true? I did not know that. This film was originally supposed to be called Head Cheese and be rated PG. I mean, is that a goof or is that true? I really don't know. I know there's a few documentaries on the chain on this, and I admittedly have not. I remember seeing one or two, but real short blurbs about it, but never a full one. Honestly, I don't know. You tell me in the chat. What do you think? This movie comes out today. I think it's PG-13.
Are we talking no remakes nudity right now?
There's really no foul language. We were talking remakes for a bit, but I'm putting this out there. Like if this movie came out today, much like Halloween, like if they came out today as they're shot those ways, I could see both of them being PG-13 because, well, Halloween, of course, because
mine's
PG shows her
titties,
tits, so that might put minus her tits. If she didn't show her tits, that's a PG-13 movie. This might be PG-13 too.
Yeah, because you've talked about it.
Yeah, because of the because everybody's so desensitized. Summer 2023. You're right, Matt. Absolutely. It was all sequels.
Oh, hell. Hey, Matt. How you doing, bud?
Yep. It was the era of the remake, probably from 2003 till about, I guess from 2003 to about 2008 to me was like the remake boom.
Yeah, because the one I always think of for remakes, it's like what, the 2013 or 2012, and that's the Evil Dead. I love the Evil Dead remake. That's so good. Yeah.
That's a good one too. I know because everybody's throwing them out there, and I'm like, we should revisit that on the podcast and talk. Because I admittedly will probably, I've already given my number one to me because we did that. Did we do it on the old podcast? Remember we did our top 5 remakes, and my is easily the 2003 remake of this.
It's good. It's a good remake.
There's no doubt. Entertaining. It's so entertaining. Arlie Emery makes it so much better. I mean, and who doesn't love it a sweaty Jessica Biel?
Oh, hell yeah. The remake, well, we talked about the worst remakes. I don't know if we really went into the worst ones. Obviously, like Elm Street's pretty bad.
Well, we brought it up before. It's Psycho. Fucking bad that
Psycho is one of the worst. Night of the Living Dead 90, I think somebody said there. That's a great remake.
And somebody brought up earlier how they liked it, and I said that everybody go vote because I was going to shut it down today and pick our winner, but that was on our list of choices for everybody to vote on to do on Monday night, and I remember that coming out and people really shit on it at the time, but it's sort of like the thing. It's gained this big cult following. I liked it at the time. I'm going to admit I wasn't over the moon about it because I was like, wow, how good this is. I enjoyed it because I'm a big fan of the OG. And but it's good to see that a lot of people are giving it love. So let's see, what did I put? I said it before when you were away. I put up Creepshow, American Werewolf in London, Night of the Creeps, and Night of the Living Dead, the remake. And so far, the front runner is easily Creepshow.
Yeah.
So we're probably watching Creepshow on Monday.
Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, Stefan brought up the new Suspiria. The remake to Suspiria, I think, is pretty underrated. The remake, if you haven't seen it, it's wild.
I like it. I mean, I'm a big. I love the old giallo Italian horror films. I love them. And you know what? While they're good stories, and admittedly the gore is cheesy because the blood looks like paint. It looks like red paint. Yeah. It always does. They have some of the cutest half-naked Italian girls ever in those films. Oh God, where's my buddy Colin Murdy? He'll tell you. The Edward Frenesh is to this day is a goddess. A goddess.
I'm going to try to jump back out again. I hate that we're delayed. I'll do it one more time.
Yeah, jump in. Yeah, I don't know why it's doing it. This film doesn't say fuck it all Halloween. I didn't either, but that one is definitely. Yeah, exactly. It's because I know my big problem is I tend to curse a lot because I'm from Northern New Jersey. I'm Italian, and that's what we do. So, and I try to keep it in check. I do. But you don't need a bunch of cursing and shit in a movie. You really don't.
Man, that Franklin's a bitch.
Yeah, he's a pain in the ass. It's like, you know what?
I'm glad that Matt's
Just
bringing
do
up
what the hell is his name?
Jack Black.
What, RoboCop?
Yeah. Matt brought up RoboCop. I really enjoy the RoboCop remake. A lot of people didn't. Maybe it's because I like Michael Keaton and Gary Oldman a lot too. But Ghostbusters 2016 with the girls could have been a lot worse too. So,
and this is great because, like I said, my buddy who's in the chat, my neighbor, we just had a nice big London broil, so we just had some fresh meat before I jumped on. And when I do my London broil, the bloodier the better. I love it. It's got to still be beating.
You know, it was a pretty brutal remake. Was Death Wish, the Bruce Willis one? That was pretty brutal.
Oh God, I forgot about that. That was. Sometimes in some movies, like, and I arguably have told people this, like, I try not to say, "Oh God, don't touch that," because sometimes it's a happy accident. Like this, they touched this; it was great. Sometimes a remake could be a happy accident where it turns out to be pretty well. But man, if you take Charles Bronson out of those films, man, those are iconic films. Charles Bronson.
Oh yeah. Oh, you know what? Actually, it's a disturbing movie. The original and the remake. Last House on the Left remake was pretty good. The Tony Goldwyn one.
Yeah, I
liked it a lot.
Somebody brought that up earlier. Yep, somebody brought that up.
Somebody did? Oh, okay. I didn't see that.
I liked it too. Yep.
What was the wife's name? I forgot the wife's name. The blonde. What was their name in that remake?
Oh God, I forget. I have to look it up.
I
think I've only seen it maybe once or twice.
Is that Monica
in the
Potter?
chat. Matt's like an encyclopedia. Hell no.
Monica Potter. Yeah.
Oh, and Matt, make sure you're tuned in on Monica Potter. Yeah, I said we got our. We
all said it at the same time.
We got our encyclopedia. Matt, make sure you tune in to Sunday night. We got Lito and his wife coming on, and they're going to be doing cosplay on Sunday night.
Yes,
so it's going to be. So for those that don't know, I threw it out there for some because I love seeing cosplayers, and we love meeting other collectors. So I threw it out there. Said, hey, you do cosplay. You know, obviously we don't want like, you know, any cosplay. We said horror cosplayer. So I said it would be only appropriate to have our friend Lito to come on. So I reached out to Lito, and Lito and his wife will be out on Monday night. He's going to be coming on as Freddy, and his wife does a great Elvira, so they'll be sitting with us on Sunday night.
They're both going to be bench pressing Buicks. They're like fitness gurus.
Seriously. Joe Connor's original script for the Death Wish remake is incredible. One of the best ever written. Really? I have to check that out. And it's funny because you see all these cars, and it's eerie because like you just flash like 3 of the cars are VW Bugs, and that's what Ted Bundy used to drive. That's what he was notorious for in the 70s.
Or what was that car in Drowning Mona they all drove? I love that movie, and not too many people like that movie. Those little cars, the Euros.
I've only seen a handful, maybe I've watched it twice. It's a good movie. It's been a long time. Yeah. Whoa, International Man of Mystery. What are you doing? Was it a slow night at the restaurant? Would you close the restaurant down early?
Man, every time a VIP shows up for sale, I'm like trying to get Rob. I'm trying to, I tag him. I think Rob's just going to have to stalk social media to get one.
I haven't seen any.
One guy had one last
week. I remember sent it to her. I sent everything. I was hoping he would have got in on the TSL thing, but he wasn't able to get in on it. That's the only thing. That's the only time I've seen it up for sale. You've seen a few up for sale?
No.
I've been looking.
In the TSL H45 Facebook group, 2 different people have had to sell their pass. Yeah. Face value, too.
Oh, I did see one. I didn't see a second one. Yeah, that's a good people because something might have come up and they can't do it. But at least they're not douchebags. Like finding a tooth. What do you do when you find like a human tooth? What you do is you turn around and leave.
This first appearance of Leatherface is very monumental, though, when you first see him. This is good stuff.
Oh yeah, and it's just and for those that don't know, this house is a restaurant, so you can actually go upstairs and eat upstairs where they actually had the dinner in this film.
And then the
So
gas
that's why we got
station's
to
a
make a trip out
hotel.
to,
Is that right?
yeah. Well, that's how I was telling everybody the story before it. I said I just wish Joe didn't fall asleep or do whatever. I'm looking to see if he's online. I don't think he's online. Let me see. Is he online? No, he's not online. He must have fell asleep. Because it would have been great because Joe's been there.
Yeah, it's not too far. What's it, about an hour drive or something like that? I can't remember. Rob, it's okay. Pat and I are looking
sales.
out
That's
for
it.
you.
Well, I saw you posted earlier that
We're gonna try to
good though. I think it was the fish you were showing before. I was like,
Oh,
yeah, we're gonna keep. If I see something, this is great. Iconic scene. It's him right with the meat tenderizer right in the head, and he's freaking
twitching.
He just hits him again, like shut up.
Then that
middle
music
door
right
will
after he
scare the
slams
shit out
that
of you.
door. That door when that music hits. It's like,
Yeah. She had a nice can too. This girl had a nice body. Nice red can. We're in Texas. This is in Bastrop. Because right, Mike, you lived in Texas, right, Mike? Where did you live? This is in Bastrop.
all my exes live in Texas.
Oh, it's a late Friday night. Actually, I'm not working tomorrow. All I have to do tomorrow, so I gotta hopefully Mike and I will finish his electric tomorrow. Practice my guitar, go to a party. So I'm gonna partake tonight. I might have to take a pee break though, because I'm already about 4 or 5 beers in.
Well, the good thing about this movie, it's not that long.
Yeah, Rob, we're doing today is Texas Chainsaw. Well, actually, we have 2 minutes left on the East Coast because it's 11:58. It's Texas Chainsaw Massacre Day, August 18th.
We just saw Leatherface for the
and
first
this is
time.
a significant day because this is significant because it's 50 years from the actual date in the film. Next year will be the actual 50th anniversary of the release of the film. So, so Mike, you were in northern Texas. I wish Joe was on because he might know where this is. Carrollton.
Oh,
the film soundtrack is based on how animals would hear all sorts of noises while at the slaughterhouse. Is that true? Because it's a weird soundtrack that sounds plausible. I wouldn't argue. It's like you see all this shit, and it's funny. She's like looking around. It's like, and of course, this is I've told this story about my son. My son is very logical, so when he watches horror movies, he gets angry because the people make stupid decisions, and I'm like, that's what they're supposed to do.
Otherwise,
he's like, why don't you just get up and run the fuck out the door? I said, because that's a logical thing to do.
There's no point to make them have a movie. Then, yeah.
Yeah, if they'll do logical things and they don't get hurt, where's the movie? Yep. No, admittedly, no, I haven't. I should. I do have it on. Do I have it on DVD? I have an old version on DVD. I don't even think there's even a commentary on it. But no, that's pretty cool. I have to go check that out. I think the only commentaries, admittedly, I've listened to was probably the Carpenter commentaries on his films, and then the trillion different versions of Halloween.
I'm really
that would be
getting
pretty
into
cool to listen to this.
Andrew Davis commentary tracks. He did one for the movie that was here in Chicago with Chuck Norris, Code of Silence. Great commentary track. Awesome.
Nice. And now she's going to try to run out, and we should all be on the same page. There's Leatherface. And this freaking, when he throws her on the meat hook, holy shit. Every time I see this scene, it takes me back to I know Brett remembers it. Those who don't remember the early '80s Terror in the Isles with Donald Pleasance narrating it, and this is the scene that they showed, and him
Yeah.
narrating the whole scene.
Oh.
Ugh, I'm
Oh.
gonna meat hug. Ugh. I'm just gonna sit there and hack him up. While you're hanging there, I'm just gonna hack up your boyfriend.
Unreal.
So now take yourself out of this and put yourself in 1974 in the theater watching this. How fucked up is that?
Yeah, this. I don't know if I've ever seen this movie get re-released on the big screen. That'd be an interesting.
I would like to. I'd go watch it on the big screen. Only movie that Travis gets angry at because of dumb choices is the original Child's Play.
You mentioned John Belushi playing this guy in the wheelchair.
First Teen Slaughtered film, I think. Who?
John
Playing it?
Belushi.
Oh God, could you imagine? Like Bluto. This is technically the first Teen Slaughtered film. I think it's Reese Black's Christmas Halloween because um I don't know. I'd have to look at the release dates. I probably because Black Christmas did come out in winter,
Man, Marilyn Burns. I
so
gotta
you
tell you,
might be right on that. Stefan.
nice body though, man. God, jeez, I gotta stop.
She's cute. She was cute. She was good to go. She was good to go. Pretty good looking woman.
Can't believe she's dead.
Oh, was that when I was talking about Turning Isles? Yeah, great movie. Yeah, Turning Isles was. God, I love that. It was who was it? It was narrating. It was Donald Pleasance and Nancy Allen narrated that.
Those
Boy, I
Volkswagen
have a big crush on
deadhead
Nancy Allen.
bands.
Those things are worth a fortune now. Oof. You can get your hands on one of those things. They're worth a fortune. Oh yeah, I would love to have seen this in the theater.
I would have thought Bill Frickenstein would have been on tonight.
Was it?
Oh well.
I thought he was going to stay up late with us tonight too. Maybe I did see him post. He was playing the game all day, so he might be engrossed in the game, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game.
Oh, is he?
I don't know. Was this originally rated X? I don't think it was.
Oh, I don't know that. Wow.
Yeah, he posted. I saw him post. He was. Yeah, I don't think it was originally rated X but yeah, he said I saw him post on one of the social medias that he was engrossed in the TCM game.
Franklin.
You
know who needed the kick? You know who needed the kick
Bud
his
bus,
ass?
the Bud bus. What's that?
You know who needed to kick Franklin's ass is what our buddy from My Bloody Valentine, Hollis, right? Let Hollis kick his ass.
Hollis. Fink
Dude,
from Meatballs.
He was a pimp, man. How his girlfriend was hot.
He gave hope to fat guys like me that if we can get a piece of ass like that.
You could say us. You could say us. It's okay. I'm working on it though.
I'm trying, but yeah. I am drinking light beer though. Always body count slashers.
Had your car
it
towed
might
over
be
and all
because
you got is light beer
there was
for
no
me?
big body count in Psycho.
Sorry, I'm in the Back to the Future mode right now.
Nice. So those jumping in, just keep it on track. We're at 44 minutes and 6 seconds. I think that's where we are. And the one guy, he's just about to open up the freezer, all in a minute or two when he gets inside.
What ugly ass shirt this guy's wearing.
Yeah, I think after the jump. Oh, 74, man. It was groovy. I think after the jump scare, I'm gonna have to go take a leak because usually I try to hold my peas, guys, but I'm about 4 deep already before this.
First one just had being good, trying to be good. Oh,
Didn't Last House on the Left
so
come off White Grindhouse like before this one? Well, was that chronologically was the Last House on the Left before this? Because yeah, that was really Grindhouse too. That's a good point. I don't know what was
yeah,
released
early
first.
Wes
That was
Craven,
really
Sean S.
Grindhouse.
Cunningham. 72. Yeah, 72.
Yeah, that was really Grindhouse. I mean, shit. Yeah, good call, Stephanie.
I Spit
Good
on Your
call.
Grave is later.
I forget that they came out before this. That was a little bit later. And I tell everybody, go
78.
watch that documentary. Really good documentary. Go watch the documentary on how the guy funded and made I Spit in Your Grave. It's really, really cool. Really good. I think it's on Shudder. I think I saw it on Shudder. And I'm watching this on Shudder. So, oh, there he is. What's up? 392 Mopar. What's going on, man?
392 Mopar. How you doing? I did get that Halloween 2 lunchbox today, too.
You want to jump in? We're at 45 minutes, 50 seconds. You did get it?
Yeah, there's one left.
I'll give a spoiler. Oh, there's a jump scare. This is great. He just fucking clocks him. And then it's funny because he's like all annoyed. He sits down like, Jesus, who are all these people coming into my office? He's like, anybody else? Anybody else? He was so good in this. Gunnar Hansen was so good. Making sure there's nobody else around. Now, what? So, if anybody's out there that's seen any documentaries on this, which I've not seen a full one on here. This is great. He's holding his head like, Jesus Christ, where are all these fucking people coming from? You know, like whose house was this? Now that they set it up like this, it was like an abandoned house. I mean, obviously we know the Myers house was an abandoned house. I'm just curious if it was an abandoned house.
Those teeth are a
Because
little
they just
fucked
made
up.
a shit house out of it, especially with blood on the wall. Yeah, yeah. I always wondered about that. Obviously, good prosthetics, I guess. Whoever did the special effects. Well, in true spoiler fashion, this arrived today.
The candle holder. Is there two different versions of that, or is
little
that just the one?
thing. It's just the one, yeah. And I was gonna get two so I can light one and see the eyes actually bleed, but I'm like, yeah, I'm spending too much money as it is, and even as it is now, I don't know where to hide all this shit because the wife's gonna find it.
Did you ever get that coffee mug a few years ago that
Mike's in the chat? I'll have to hide it in his house. Oh yeah, I have that. Yeah, it's up there. I love that thing. I used to take that thing on the camping trips when my son was in Scouts, and I would sit there and I always have tea at night, and I would scare the shit out of the one Scoutmaster, this woman, Carol, friend of mine. She's like, can you turn the cup the other way?
I think I sent you and Joe the America's Funny Stone video from years ago where a dad dressed up like Leatherface with the chainsaw, and his son was having a sleepover with the other kid, and he turned on the chainsaw and woke the kids up. The kid's like, what is wrong with you? That's a great video. If you guys haven't seen that, just YouTube that Chainsaw America's Funny Stone video. Oh God.
I remember seeing that one. And the other one, well, the other chainsaw was good was how was it? Mr. Mom. When Martin Mull walks in to pick up Terry Carr, and there's there's Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
He comes in and he's got the chainsaw and he's like, oh, just doing some work on the house, you know, redoing the electric, you know. He's like, oh,
drink? It's 10 a.m.
2:10. He's like, dude, he's like 2:20. He's like 2:20, 2:21, whatever it takes. Oh yeah, drink. Like, it's on the drink. Beer?
You want beer?
It's 8:00 in the morning.
Scotch? That's one of our family's favorite films. So I got that one pat down.
Oh God, I love Mr. Mom. Such a good movie.
And what is he doing? What is he talking about with the other mechanics at the auto plant? He's talking about Rocky.
Yes, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, you would remember that. I did forget that. Yeah.
Well, I was such a little kid when that came out, so then it's like yeah, all the
Oh, Rob, you picked up 2 of them. I should have picked up another one and just burnt it out, but I've spent a shit ton of money on shit already, and I'm trying to save for 45, and it's getting harder and harder to hide. It's getting harder to bury stuff that so the wife doesn't notice.
but I think you still know what the
Toby
surprise,
was
what the
surprised to be
best.
that. I
This is still the best.
can see that. Yeah, because the sequel, that's still awesome. Yeah.
Still the best. What else do I got under here, Pat? While we're watching, we gotta show our hint of our girl. We gotta show her hint of our girl. There she is. She's still there. Woo!
Oh yes. God, God, do I love Eliza Dushku. All right, entertain the troops while I pay.
You got it.
Actually, you know what? Actually, I'll hold on 1 second because I want to see Franklin get killed because he's an annoying prick.
Yeah, while we're watching this chase,
I'll wait till he gets
right,
killed, then
coming
I'll
up.
take the.
Da, 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 da.
Yeah, for those, like I said, make sure I'll close the poll that I have on the channel down
You closed the
tomorrow.
poll,
So
huh? Close the
we'll do
poll.
we do our watch along. I'm gonna take my poll off of the channel. Excuse me while I whip this out.
Ooh.
So go vote. So far, Creep Show's the front runners. Either Creep Show, Night of the Creeps, Night of the Living Dead remake 90, or American Werewolf in London, which is actually running second, admittedly. Well, if you weren't there
Yeah,
earlier, Brad was telling me Trick or Treat Studios. Yeah, go ahead, you tell him. Go ahead.
yeah, no, Pat's right. We were just, if you guys probably saw online, Trick or Treat Studios is done with the licenses for Halloween 2 and 3. Well, it's not like Universal doesn't horror out 2 at least. Oh, poor Franklin. Not really. He deserved it.
So, who do you think got it worse in the wheelchair, Franklin or Mark in Friday Part 2?
I think I think Friday 2 was a bit more instant. Here it looked like it dragged a bit or it went longer. So, yeah.
This was torturous. Yeah, yeah, because he was still alive for a while. It's a joke. Other children, and I do love a good joke. All right. I entertain the troops. I'm going to
Go
go
do
take a
what you
leak.
got to do.
I'll be right back.
I think some of you guys have seen some of the stuff over the weekend, but I still love showing the shadow box I bought at Flashback Weekend here in Chicago. This thing is just badass. Look at that, guys. Woo! Cool, right? Ghost Bob figure in there. Shockingly, I don't have any merchandise from. I should say shockingly. I like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but it's not like my biggest thing. This movie was pretty groundbreaking. Thank you. Yeah, I have the guy's business card. He's selling some of those things. Like he made a shadow box of the whole hospital room or the surgical room with Loomis, Michael, and you got all the gas cylinders and everything in there. He kind of built a real cool thing in there. And then he built the cool Myers Halloween Ends one with the sewers, and it's like all green lit. I took pictures of that.
All
I don't know if
right.
we put them on the show.
All right, I'm empty.
I
I'm
had, to
good.
I had to show the Ghost Bob Shadow Box again. I had it sitting right here. I'm like, that's a good piece.
That thing's awesome. Run,
I'm
bitch,
afraid to
run.
use it. I'm afraid to use a chainsaw stuff, and I have used it when we had a tree go down at when my parents were still living in the Chicagoland area. I used it for getting some wood together for bonfires and shit. But yeah,
I don't usually use it till the spring and the fall. I didn't use it this year because we didn't. Usually we have a lot of I was actually about to tell my neighbor Mike about this night. Usually on Friday, Saturday nights we sit outside, have bonfires with the kids, do s'mores, but not the world that we never do it anymore. And I would always cut up wood with the chainsaw.
and I don't give a shit. I when my kids were even younger, at my wife's grandfather's house when he's still alive, I cut myself on like a Michael Myers sized kitchen knife, and I had to be rushed to the hospital. I got 5 stitches in this index finger. I cut it with I sliced open my finger with one of those butcher kitchen knives. So, yeah, everybody in my family, when they're like, they see me with a knife or a scissors, like, oh, boy, be careful. I'm like, ha, 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 real funny. So,
oh, yeah. Once it happens, you're like labeled for life.
Yeah, that's all right though. It's a good laugh.
And to her credit, she's putting on a good chase, jumping from a second floor window. I mean, come on. That's cool. Oh yeah, the shadow box he bought that was what the hell was the convention you were just at?
That was a flashback weekend.
Okay, the name of it. Flashback weekend. That's it. Oh. Cut your finger in the kitchen like Sean Brody in the opening of Jaws: The Revenge.
Every time I think of Jaws: The Revenge, I just think of Michael Caine. People making fun of him. It's like that movie bought my house in the Bahamas.
Yeah, you forget that he's in that.
Yeah, Gunnar Hansen. If you read like the behind the scenes stuff, you would think that like he doesn't look like he's in good shape, but he could outrun the hell out of Marilyn Burns here.
Yeah, he looks like me. He's built like Barney Rubble. He's actually in much better shape.
I forgot her shirt got ripped up pretty bad there.
Evans, I cut myself some type of knife cut.
Oh no shit, Stefan! Wow.
I've cut plenty of things. Got cut plenty of times. I don't know if I ever cut my fingers though. No. I told you about my dopey son, right? So when he was younger, Terrence, my son, collects knives, loves knives. So he's playing around with one of those butterfly knives, like a jackass, in his room. Got no shoes on. Flips out of his hands, and the knife goes right between his right foot, big toe, and the next toe, whatever you want to call your pointer toe. And he didn't want to tell us because he was like, he thought he was going to get in trouble. So he runs into the bathroom, and he's like leaning out the window, not the door, like the door to the bathroom, like, Dad. He's like, I'm like, what? What's the matter? I was doing something. I'm like, what do you need, Terrence? What's the matter? He's like, come here, I need your help. I'm like, all right. So go in there. There's blood all over the floor, all over his leg, and I'm like, what the hell happened? He's like, I tried to stop the bleeding, but it wouldn't stop. I'm like, what the hell did you do? I was playing with the knife, and it went right between his two toes. So I take him and get they didn't even need to put stitches. They put that glue. Well, first they put the glue in there, and it opened up again, and he started bleeding again. So we had to take it back. So they ended up putting stitches in it because the glue didn't hurt. It didn't do shit. But it looked like like a massacre in the bathroom. I'm like, what the fuck did you do?
That's that glue stuff. Like when there's a blade, and at least in WWE, they use that stuff. Right, the guys come out and put that stuff on right away now.
Yeah. They did that. I remember I bumped into something on my friend's boat one time. I split this open and they put the glue in it. Right, it didn't need stitches, thankfully.
See, so Pat, she's in the Netflix movie, right? But she had died right after it. Isn't that how it went? Because isn't she wearing the same?
Yeah, the
thing?
Netflix movie is supposed to be her, the woman that played. I can't remember the woman's name that played her. She didn't do a bad job, although it was sort of like fan service because they kind of brought it back and basically just killed her off.
Yeah, she got her head.
They really didn't need to do that. No, she didn't get beheaded. She got her ass handed to her. That was the sister that got beheaded at the end.
Yes, that movie was underrated. I liked it. I had a good time watching that.
You know, it's not. To me, it was a look. I can look at a movie and find entertainment out of it. To me, it was entertaining. Was it better than this? No. Is it the best movie I ever saw? Hell no. But I enjoyed it. It entertained me. I thought it was fun. Matt said, "Did your son fuck with the Lords of Hell or the babysitter?" Brett should get that one.
Adventures in Babysitting. Elizabeth Shue. You gotta love that. Hey, Deborah Hill produced that film.
Yeah. Oh, he was freaking. He was thought he was going to get in trouble, so he didn't want to say anything. So he's got he had toilet paper all over his foot, trying to stop the bleeding, and a towel over it. And I'm like, Terrence, did you think it was going to stop? The whole floor's covered in blood, and it's white tile. I mean, come on. I said, of course, we're more concerned about what happened to you. Then, of course, we'll yell at you after that. And oh God, what the hell was his name? He plays such a creepy part in this too. The uncle. Well, he was in part 2.
Yes.
And did he make it in any other movies besides part 2? I don't remember. If he made it in any of the other sequels. I know he's in part 2, but I don't know if he made it in any other ones. Remember in part 2, he's like a celebrity and he wins the awards for the best barbecue?
Yep.
Wasn't the same actress though. I thought it'd be bringing in. I know.
I think I'm gonna get one more drink. Hold on here.
Oh God. Yeah. Bulgarians. Do it. Yeah, Stephanie. She does look a little like Sissy Spacek. That makes sense. Yeah, the super glue stuff works well. It really does. I remember, like I said, when I cut my head that time, and that's what they use. Like, oh, you don't need stitches. They just glued it back together. I'm like, shit, if I would have known that, I would have did it myself. Because now you can buy that shit on your own. Yeah, Adventures in Babysitting. Good. I haven't seen that movie in a long time. Good movie. Love Elizabeth Shue. She's good to go. Loved her in Leaving Las Vegas. And Soap Dish. She was funny. She was good in Soap Dish. So it's Friday night. So we're hanging out, having a couple of cocktails. What are you guys having? Anybody in the chat? What are you guys having? I know Mike. Mike is still awake. My neighbor. Are you still drinking your Miller Lights? I don't have any left over here. So let's see where we're going next. Reach into the cooler to see what. Oh, I do have one of these left.
Oh, Russell's in.
Nice.
Russell came in here. You were just asking about Russell.
This will be the last one. Oh, there he is. I was sitting there saying, "Come on, man! I need somebody older than me in the chat."
Oh,
I still have one left. My last one, the Great Outdoors.
Nice. Your neighbor. Don't tell Mom Babysitter's dead. Dishes are done.
The Great Outdoors beer.
Okay, I got to do this one more time. This is driving me crazy. We're delayed.
Dishes are done. Yeah, you got to jump out and impact. Yeah. Russell, there he is. I'm happy you joined along with us. We're watching along. We're watching TCM 1974, celebrating. Well, on the East Coast here, it's 12:25 a.m., so it's technically not TCM day anymore. But we're celebrating. The movie takes place on August 18th, so it's actually 50 years to the day that it took place.
What do you think keeps on happening?
We do it nice and impromptu.
don't know.
I don't know. I'm wondering if it's me, but usually when I have a delay, like up here in the corner, it'll show like the little Wi-Fi thing if there's an issue with it. So I'm just wondering.
So, Pat, I'm going to tell you what I bought here.
Just finished.
I'm going
Oh,
to.
who else did a
Oh,
watch party? So Russell just left a TCM watch party. Who did what channel did a TCM
I
watch
think
party?
it's
Just curious.
digital something.
Who?
I thought he said it in one of the previous comments.
No, I like Stefan. Russell, you've been at the country club. I think you're drunk. That's good. Stefan,
in the bag?
he gets the award for the night. That was good.
Oh, that's the goofy guy in the bag.
Yeah, now it's going to get weird. So yeah. So Russell, if you want to jump in, we're watching it right now. We're at a timestamp of 1 hour, 5 minutes, and 38 seconds.
Yeah, see, Travis, you know what they got to do? Somebody's got to re-edit it with the better soundtrack, the better score. And that movie will jump up on my ranking. Somebody does a hybrid cup because of the soundtrack.
The soundtrack takes me out of it. I'm really not a big nothing against Chris Duran, but I kind of just did not like his performance. And the mask kills me.
Yeah,
Where it
did you
changes
listen?
so many different
Did you
times. Just
listen
kills
to
me.
our buddy Jeremy Todd or Jeremy Moorhead from the Epic Film Guys podcast? They talked. He said it. It's like if some guru is good with tech stuff, put the original mask, edit everything with the original mask. So yeah, two things you could do. Let's get the right mask in there, at least the first mask
much
you
better.
see, and then the music. Yeah, the H6 mask,
And the
which you
music,
see first when Nancy's on the ground when he comes in from the kitchen.
The music to me, because they plucked a lot of it from Scream. And while Scream, I like Scream, I don't want to hear the same music in two different movies. And the Myers portrayal in it to me was very trying to think of a good word for it.
I just became friends.
It was like
to
me. It almost felt like somebody. It almost felt like somebody trying. It's like somebody that was in a mask that was just trying to scare you, like one of your friends. It was just very weird for me. And Chris Duran physically looked okay, but the way the mask looked, and they kept showing his eyes, and he had like this Sid Vicious hair, the way it was all teased up, it just didn't do it for me. I like H2O. There's aspects of it I do like. I don't dislike it. It's not the bottom of my list. We know what the bottom of my list is. But I don't know. I think I need to do a rewatch. Maybe it will move up a little bit, just like it did for other people.
If we got autograph fans in here, like Chris Duran at the very first Halloween convention, the H25, he wanted $50. That was the first time I ever saw somebody a celebrity at a convention that wanted $50. $50 20 years later is still kind of a lot for me. It's wild.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what the most I paid for an autograph, because you know me, I don't have a lot of autographs. It's all Halloween people. Who did I pay the most for?
Matt, you say it right. Like
I don't think I paid over 50 for any of them.
You put the right masks in those movies. Oh man. And I'm sorry. I mean, people that don't like Halloween 5, I don't mind the Halloween 5 mask. It's just I don't know how you can explain to somebody how the mask got to that point, but it's just a different look. It creeped me out when I was a little kid. I think that's why I liked it a lot.
There we go. I rewatched it. Every problem I had wasn't nearly as noticeable as I remember it being. Chris Duran and his look was bad, but he's surprisingly in the foreground very little. Yeah, I mean, when he was like in his creeping moments, like where Michelle Williams looks out and sees him standing there, that's all well and good. When the mother and daughter stop at the rest stop, and you see him when they're in the stalls, and you see him walk by, and there's that little sly look back. Yeah, there's some moments in there where he's very effective. He's very creepy, but like his full body walking and everything was just, it just didn't do it for me. And if people like it, hey, I'm not going to tell you you're wrong. I mean, that's your personal taste. It's for me, it just didn't do it. And believe me, I was on board. You guys remember 1998? Shit, 1998. Shit, I was engaged. So you figure I was 26 years old. So I was beyond psyched that Jamie Lee was coming back.
I was a junior in high school. We just talked about it because I was 20. God, that movie's 25 years old then, right? 98.
Shut up.
No, I'm not. Okay. No, because the
Yeah,
wrestler
that was it.
Edge,
That we should have did a watch along of that.
shit. The wrestler Edge just had his 25th anniversary and he retired tonight on WWE. So it's kind of why it's hitting my head because that was like 1998.
We should have
when he
did
first started wrestling. Yeah.
Yeah, we missed the boat on that because we did a quick watch along impromptu of Freddy versus Jason. We should have did an H2O for the 25th anniversary, and this is technically the 50th anniversary of the date in the film.
That's right.
And I'm sure we'll watch this next year when it hits 50. I'll pay Tyler Mane 50 before someone I've never heard of. No, yeah, Tyler Mane, super nice guy too, really nice guy.
Damn right.
And
this is
effective
so wild.
as Myers did a great job.
Is he licking her fingers? He's sucking the fingers. Yeah.
He's sucking the blood out of her fingers. Yeah. And then she passes out. Yeah.
I forgot, Pat. Do you like the Peter Jackson?
After she passes out at the dinner table.
You like the Peter Jackson, like Dead Alive, Bad Taste? I forgot. Obviously, I think you know I like that. I didn't know if you did. I couldn't remember.
Yeah, I did. I liked Dead Alive. Yeah.
Dead Alive's so much fun. How about you guys in the chat? I'm curious.
Was that? I remember. Was that Joe's favorite cover or favorite poster? Wasn't that his favorite poster when we did the horror posters?
It was one of mine. I think Joe liked it actually. Yeah.
I know.
He liked Dead Alive. I liked Bad Taste, is what it was.
Okay, maybe it was you. I knew somebody had it on their list. Yeah, I remember somebody had it on their list. I do remember that because I always liked it too. It was a great poster. I'm like, but I didn't have it on my list. But I'm like, I know somebody had it on their list.
This is so wild.
And he's just listening to Leatherface like, oh. And if you didn't notice, look at the handles on the chair she's on their hands.
It's hard to believe. What do we got?
So yeah, if you actually go to this house in Bastrop, Texas, it's a restaurant. You can eat in the exact same room when they film this. That's fucking awesome. We all got to make a pilgrimage and do it.
Yeah. Yeah, 3 people dead here, it looks like, if I'm counting them correctly.
Well, any film days like saying this. Yeah. Oh God, Mitch Hedberg. I haven't heard that name in a minute. It's true. People say it's dated, or I don't say things are dated. I usually say that they're of their time, because you got to remember everything is a product of the time it came out.
Yes.
And some people may be a little bit more partial to that because it's nostalgia for them, because it's when they were introduced to a certain point. Like I've always I've talked to many Halloween fans over the years, and I always say, okay, well, where did you first come into the franchise? Because that's like a gateway drug. That's your time frame. So it's nostalgia. I said nostalgia is big for people, especially the older you get. Take my word for it. The older you get, you remember. And I always wonder this about my parents. My parents remembered everything from 50 years ago. And everything was nostalgia for them, and that's what they loved. And now I'm of their age group, and everything I think about is everything from back then. and it's all nostalgia. And if you said, Pat, what did you do yesterday? I couldn't even tell you. I could tell you what I did like 25 years ago, 30 years ago. I could tell you about the first time I watched Halloween. I've talked about it ad nauseum.
That's what I love about our relationships that Pat and I have, and with Joe too. We all come from different age groups and different backgrounds or different experiences of seeing. At least that we mostly talk the Halloween movies, obviously. Like Pat knows this. I saw the first two Halloween movies because my brother is much older than me. I watched them when he was having friends sleep over one summer of '88. Then I saw the first two movies. I thought Michael Myers is gone. And not even a month later, I'm seeing the trailer for Halloween 4. I had no idea they're making a fourth one.
Yeah. It's just crazy how you remember certain points in your life like they were yesterday. And I've talked, like I said, plenty of times about seeing Halloween for the first time. It was the night that I was actually supposed to be seeing the Warriors, which I did see. But I remember seeing. I just trying to think. Okay, everybody in the chat, throw out a time in your life of a movie that you remember vividly because it just like so impactful in your life. Obviously, Halloween for me, the Warriors, which was the same night. It was twofer. It was both of them. Trying to think of other movies that were that just were like that impactful for me. I don't know. Throw them in the chat. What about you, Brett?
Oh, there's
Rocky?
no doubt. Halloween and
that did it
Rocky
for
are the
you?
first two that come for me. Halloween and Rocky. I I don't know. I just have a laid back mentality. I love comedies. That were the Back to the Future is a real big one that really I think about Back to the Future quite a lot now. More recently, it's definitely might be yeah. It's not top 5. It's top 10 for me. I grew up watching Eddie Murphy at such a young age, so the Beverly Hills Cop films and the
Yeah.
48 Hours films are so memorable for me when I first saw them.
Another movie that comes to mind that really impacted me the first time I saw it, that really blew me away, that I can remember seeing in the theater coming out like, wow, was Ghostbusters, the first Ghostbusters.
Yeah, that's a good choice too, Pat. Good call.
I remember seeing that in the theater, and that just blew me away. I mean, everybody could argue because I was the guy that stood in line to see Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, and I remember I tell my son, Terrence is a big Star Wars guy, much bigger than I am, and I grew up with Star Wars. I remember waiting online, the lines around the block to go see Empire Strikes Back and the Return of the Jedi. Because I Star Wars, admittedly, I didn't see when in the theater when it first came out. I saw it afterwards on Laserdisc, as a matter of fact. The first time I saw it was on Laserdisc.
That's right. I keep on forgetting you saw some stuff on a laser disc. I have a lot of memorable times watching movies on Laserdisc for the first time.
Let me see. Make sure I'm not missing anybody. Nancy Mopar. I seen Halloween the first time. Shit, yeah, Halloween. I've told the story, man, and that scared the shit out of me when I first saw it. It did, and Warriors is still one of my favorite movies of all time, and it was impactful for me. Yeah, Warriors, just fantastic film. Prom Night. I love Prom Night. The original Prom Night. I love the original Prom Night. So cheesy. You got lovely Jamie Lee Curtis, and you got the great Leslie Nielsen.
Oh, look at she gets away.
Wait for an hour for the UPS truck to deliver screen to the video store. Run by bike home. Nice. People forget this because I remember I was talking to somebody when they were like, "Well, what?" She jumped out the window. And why is it daylight? I said, "Because you got to remember, it was like she passed out and she woke up and it was basically morning. That's why it's light out."
Right. Yeah, Rob. Oh,
But people didn't
Laserdiscs.
get that. I'm like, yeah. I'm like,
If you haven't, Pat and I have gone through the Laserdiscs at least when we were on the previous podcast. But if we ever want to go over Laserdiscs again, I don't know how much you're really into that, but yeah, Pat and I pretty much got most of them.
yeah,
Maybe we're missing a couple Japanese ones, but
Yeah, we can break them all out for an episode show. I know Brett has a few more than I do because his family actually had a Laserdisc player, so he's got a bunch of them. I admittedly only
Yeah.
have Halloween ones. Well, Brett, you have the Nick Castle own Major Payne, correct?
Major Payne and Escape from New York, and we know Michael
And Escape from New York.
has the Halloween. Oh God!
Like you see how fake that is too. When he gets run over by the truck, you can see how fake it
Yep.
is. But it's awesome now. It's awesome.
Yeah, I brought that was the first
So
flashback
anybody's
after
jumping in
COVID.
because we're towards the tail end. We're hour and 20 minutes. I never noticed that the sign on the side of the truck said Black Maria. Never noticed that before.
The other guy's running too. It just looks like, I swear, when they're running, it looks like the Benny Hill show.
Yeah, that's right. It's like
So the other guy just runs away, right?
he just runs off. It's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You know, it's funny because 1990, I was 18 years old. And I remember seeing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but I guess it was more of a younger generation that really embraced it. I loved it, but I didn't embrace it like most people did. So I guess maybe I was just a little bit. I was 18, had my license, and I was thinking about one thing only. So
I think the big thing was
yeah, between
Leatherface.
Empire and Jedi in the theaters, it was good. What's that? It's not that delay. What the fuck?
Yeah, I know. I just Leatherface. If his leg doesn't get cut up there, yeah, that's a big part of this film here.
And that's it. That is the end of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
In a way, the main character gets away.
Ends with it, yeah, this is true. And usually you see it in most of the slashers that came after this, you see them get away, but they're presumed dead. And most of them, like usually Jason, Myers, or whatever. Here he is, just all right. This one got away, but I'm still alive. Such a good movie. Like I said, everybody needs to go take a shower.
Oh hell yeah!
You should all feel filthy.
Matt's talking about, yeah, Walter Hill. Walter Hill, probably behind John Carpenter, is got to be my favorite filmmaker. He just made so many good things with the Warriors and the 48 Hours movies. Oh, he didn't really even do that much, but the stuff he made was very important to me. And Pat, that's one of Pat's favorite movies there, The Warriors. So, yeah.
Easily. The Warriors turned me into a Halloween fan because I told the story. I was coming home to see the Warriors because all me and my friends were talking about was like they heard about the movie because the movie was pretty popular. It wasn't a blockbuster, but amongst kids, it was like, wow, we're gonna see it finally. And not a lot of people had cable back then. We had it, and my cousins were coming over and they were sleeping over because it was Halloween night. We were trick or treating,
Mm-hmm.
and we watched the Warriors. And I remember right after it, sort of like the bumper for the next movie. It was Halloween. We didn't even hear about it. I didn't know what the fuck it was. We just figured, okay, we were trick or treating. Let's watch a movie called Halloween. Lo and behold, here I am, 51 years old, like a jackass.
Did I tell you about watching the latest releases of the both 48 Hours movies, and Walter Hill, like, not wanting to do a sequel, of course, but then he hears Eddie Murphy's in charge of the sequel, and he's like, "Oh shit, I don't want anybody else to do it. Then I'll just do it." So,
I
oh,
was scrolling through, looking through the chat. So let's see. I was seeing that's Laser Dish from Halloween one and one Pat. Yes, I do have a full 35 millimeter print of Halloween. It's right back here, and I have 60 millimeter prints of H2.
Hey, well, I'm sure maybe Matt's seen it. Stefan or Rob, whoever else we got in the chat, and I'm sorry if I forgot somebody. Did any of you guys see Oppenheimer? Because I got to go see it. Matt,
I gotta go see it.
It's ending this weekend at the Music Box Theater in 70 millimeters. So I'm like, I don't know if I'll be able to get to it. But
Russell's first horror movie was a silent film, House of the Devil, 1939.
Oh, Russell, wow.
Yeah, there's something about being a little bit older too that it's good because you got to see a lot of the older shit, which is pretty cool too. Some of those Universal monster movies and basically the Hammer films. That's seeing those for the first time has got to be friggin' great.
Oh, see, look at wow, man.
Yeah,
so Matt saw it. Rob hasn't seen it.
It seems like everybody's seen it but us. It seems like everybody's seen it but us.
I swear the only time I'm gonna have 3 hours is at the end of September in California.
Yeah, I know I'm so busy these days. I mean, I've been trying to do like a religiously drop a review every Friday. I just had zero time to do shit this week. So I have a feeling if I'm going to watch Oppenheimer, it's going to be on a streaming service at some point because I don't think I'm going to be able to get to the theater. I got this, my whole weekend is jam packed.
Oh, you know what, Pat? I forgot that I got a message, Sean Clark. The one theater, the one suburban theater that does a lot of retro screenings, they're doing the Funhouse. That's like one of his favorite movies.
That's his favorite film. One of his favorite films. Yeah,
and
I love the Funhouse too.
Pat, I've never seen it.
My
brother and I have never seen it. We're gonna go see this. So,
yeah, it's not gonna blow you away. It's 80s cheese, but it's a fun movie to watch though.
Yeah.
It's got some crazy characters in it too, which I'm surprised it never translated into something beyond that. And then people can say, well, it was kind of low budget. How much did it do? But look how many other movies like Phantasm. I love Phantasm, but that wasn't a blockbuster. And how many sequels did they have? They could have easily just took and made another Funhouse. You'll see why. The characters are fun.
Yeah, they look like it, dude.
How old was I when I saw Halloween? I was 8 years old. 1980. I was 8 years old.
Oh my God, The Burbs is on Peacock. I'm turning that on. Sorry. There's another favorite movie of Brady's, but it's Joe Dante. Dante rules.
See.
We'll do the Burbs watch along. We'll do a Burbs watch along.
We will definitely for one of our comedy watch alongs. Yeah. Rob wants that 35 millimeter print. If you want me to break it out, excuse me, while I whip this out, I can grab a couple of canisters and show you guys. It's not much to it.
Matt's like, let's do the Burbs watch along now. I could probably grab something. I'm going to turn it on.
Do the Burbs next, do back to back. Would Phantasm give my wife an orgasm? Well, there is some sex in it, but well, that all depends on you. How well could you do it for her? That's the thing.
Rumsfeld rules in that movie, Matt. You know it. Bruce Dern rules in that movie.
Oh yeah, he was Music Box Massacre. God, damn, pulling out some real deep cuts here.
Oh, did that come out today? I do want to see that.
Did you hear about the dog talking film Strays with Will Ferrell, Jerry Fox? Movie? No, I didn't even hear about it. I did not.
That kid next door is a meatball. There goes the goddamn brownies.
Smells like you're cooking a goddamn cat over there. Yes, you want to say hi before you go back to school?
I can do that.
All right, hold on.
What are you doing?
Change the settings here to different speaker. There we go.
Speak different speaker. Uh-oh. I see the boy back there.
Let the boy say.
What's up, dude?
My son's he's going back to college tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah.
Oh, man.
He's out of the house. Hello.
Well, if I was going to be there, I was trying to be in your neck of the woods if your dad didn't tell you sooner, but it didn't happen. So we'll figure it out. I'll see you in person sometime, Terrence. So
if you come up, I'll drive up for the weekend.
Oh, look at that! What do we get? Well, we'll definitely have to share a Busch Light apple when it's released again here soon. So they're clearancing off the peach, by the way, in my neck of the woods. They're clearancing it off already. I was like, Jesus,
have you found
that didn't last long. What?
It's gone already?
The peach? It's getting to the end of the season for it, I'd assume, because if they're clearancing it off. Yeah, I don't know.
Definitely loyal watchers. From the Great White North. He's up north. He's up in Canada.
Thank you very much. I'm gonna need it.
Yeah, Terrence needs to be a senior in college this year. So another year, my daughter will be a freshman in college. At some point, they got to get off my payroll. So I can buy more Halloween shit.
Oh,
if the wife will let me. If the wife doesn't kill me, for that matter.
Well, yeah, we're gonna be dead sooner or later. It'll be. It's something. Terrence, what have you been doing? You been packing up or what? Oh,
laundry.
I'm doing a lot of laundry right now. I waited to do my laundry to the last minute.
Yep, doing laundry. It's usually. Well, did you pack stuff in your bags yet, or what?
I've got a good amount of stuff packed, but
nice.
Oh, college lawyer stroke. Just kidding. Yeah, exactly. 2018.
Travis.
Oh, is that where you are? I never asked where you were. You're in Manitoba. I remember I sent the package up there.
From Canada.
What's the name of the town? Because that wasn't the. Terrence is going to school. Wants to be. Well, you can tell
him. No. You go ahead.
He's going to school for European history. He wants to be a
European history. That's what I thought. I was about ready to answer for both of you.
Yeah, wants to be a college professor.
Yeah, eventually.
Well, because once he finishes next year, then he goes for his master's. Then he'll go for his doctorate. And then I keep telling him. I said, if he gets his doctorate, our last name will become a verb.
You know what? I witnessed something very odd at the Fan Expo last week. Did I tell you about that with Peter Weller, where they didn't have Dr. Peter Weller on there since he's got a doctorate? He was all pissed off, so he took a paint marker and put doctor in front of his name.
That's like the hell is it? And Seinfeld, when the one guy he couldn't call him by his name, he had to call him Maestro.
I don't think I ever saw that one.
Did you ever see that one?
No, I don't think so.
And did you ever see Animal House? Niedermeyer, the guy Niedermeyer, the guy that used to be in the Twisted Sister videos. That guy whose name is escaping me. It was him. He was playing. He was like the leader of the Police Benevolent Association Orchestra. But and his name was I forget what his name was. And Jerry would only call him by his first name, and he'd get pissed because he wanted everybody to call him Maestro.
Maestro, yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to you Seinfeld fans out there. You'll know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, Animal House is a fun time.
Yep, this is the episode Matt knows. Matt's like the encyclopedia. He's the best. The episode when Frank gets the pool room in George's bedroom. And that's when Frank and Kramer go in on the bro, and they're arguing about what they should call it. It's the man bra. It's either the bro or the man's ear.
The man's ear.
Oh God, Animal House, one of my favorite. Yeah, call me Maestro.
Yeah, Rob's coming to age 45, so yeah, Matt's out that way. I'm sure we'll be seeing Matt. We'll get together for drinks or food one day. We've talked about that.
There's gonna be so many people, man. So yes, Matt's gonna be out there. Rob will be out there. Rob's gonna blow his cover because we're gonna actually get to see what the hell he looks like, unless he wears a mask the whole time. I'm just scrolling through. Anybody else in the chat going to be at age 45?
Yeah.
Just curious. I didn't want to remember the character's name. Just going through this.
Yeah, Matt.
So,
Rick's
you were
going to
born
be
in
there
Ukraine.
because his wife canceled, but Rick will be there. I saw that.
And you know what? You did a great job with H2. Kind of, you can argue Resurrection, but hey, look, he was making a film. He didn't write the script. That's for damn sure. And he's a super nice guy, because I remember when I met Nancy Stevens, he was sitting there like eating lunch, and people weren't even talking to him. I'm like, oh my God, how you doing? And he was like shocked that I was talking to him, because I knew who he was, because nobody else was.
That's how I laughed at Dave McRae. That was the one time I saw him at H40, because he had the selfie stick and they're eating lunch with their salads and stuff. And he's talking to him. It's on his YouTube page. It just looked awkward. I'm like, I probably would have went up to them when they're eating. I kind of feel bad, but it's all.
Well, she wasn't, because she still had her table open. So I walked right up to her. So chatting with her. She was super nice, Nancy Stevens. And then I guess, and other people were like, talking next to me towards Nancy Stevens. Nobody's paying attention to him. And I'm like, I wasn't working with John. He was like, what? Like, he was shocked I was talking to him. But like, most people didn't know who he was. I'm like, how do you know who he was if you're a Halloween fan? But then again, this was at Chiller Theater. So it wasn't like a Halloween, or it wasn't technically a horror. Well, Chiller Theater is.
That must have been a while ago.
Is that the one I went to with the other, like a year or two ago?
It was more than that. It was a long time. Yeah, that was the one.
I remember you talking about like all the people who were going to be there, like signing stuff, and you were going through everything, and I was like, oh my God, the voice of Skeletor is going to be here.
Yeah. That guy goes around, the voice of Skeletor. Yeah.
Yeah. So then I took him to the Chiller Theater.
I'm going to get Rick Rosenthal again. I got to tell you, after talking to Katie Sackhoff last weekend, that was an early experience for her making that movie. And the only bad thing she had to say was about the Weinsteins. So it's like, oh, that's not a surprise. A woman in the Weinsteins.
Probably groping her because they were both fucking sleaze.
Yeah.
More so,
she loved Rick, and she loved all the other actors she worked with and actresses she worked with.
So not horrible. Have you seen Thief with James Caan, Willie Nelson in a small role, and Jim Belushi and Robert Prosky in their first major roles? Honestly, no. I know the movie. I know the movie, but I've not seen it.
Oh God! See,
I didn't know Willie Nelson was in that though.
So I have the Burbs on. The other reason why you love Bruce Dern in this movie, for how he looks in this movie, he's got the hottest wife too. The wife's unbelievable. She's beautiful. No tan lines this morning.
How was the show last night?
It was great.
Yeah, Sunday was nice. It was really good.
It felt oddly it felt oddly good, but also really weird to finally go to a concert at the places I had been working all summer.
Yeah. There was like a celebrity because we're pulling in. He's saying hi to everybody like he's a celebrity.
I worked there. I knew everyone, so I was bothering all my coworkers when they were on break.
It was good. Yeah, Joe Bonamassa was good. Styx. Can't complain. Styx is always good live.
So you guys didn't have Kenny Loggins out your neck of the woods, huh? Would have been like, damn.
Tangerine Dreams.
No, he
did
didn't.
The score for Thief. I did not know that. What's that? Sorry, I didn't hear.
No, you didn't. You guys didn't get Kenny Loggins out your neck of the woods, then, huh?
No, I'm surprised because I thought maybe he would, because it seemed like, so where you seem like an outdoor shed, like an amphitheater?
Yeah, it's Ravinia, so it's outdoor. Yeah.
Yeah, so I would have thought that he would have been fitting up there perfectly. Because who's this weekend? Is it Rod Stewart?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Rod Stewart at Cheap Trick this weekend.
My wife's already making
Kenny Loggins, man. I would have bought tickets. My wife probably would have went to that too if I would have said Kenny Loggins. Kathy probably would go too.
Pat, my wife's already making fun of my ass. So the Top Gun hat, I got the aviators out. I got my Bushwood shirt. I'm all set to
go. Brett's going to make sure he wears something from every movie he scored in the 80s.
He scored in the 80s. What am I missing? Footloose? Oh, I got to get something from Footloose next, right?
Something from Footloose, yeah.
What else did he fucking do?
Because he was like the god when it came to friggin' 80s movie themes. Everything was like, just he was to soundtracks in the 80s that the fuck's his name? The guy
Randy
that
Newman?
wrote Randy, thank you. Randy Newman was to the 2000s.
Yeah,
Because he did every fucking score, Randy Newman.
he did.
But back then, everything was Kenny Loggins.
Geez, now Matt's talking about William L. Peterson, Evanston alumni here. Yeah. Oh, damn. To Live and Die in L.A., man. What happens to him in that movie? That's wild. But that's a great film. Even Manhunter, he did great.
I saw To Live and Die in LA. It was a good movie. That I did see. Yeah, wait. Check out the chat one more time, then we'll let everybody go because it's 1:00 here. I haven't seen my neighbor in the chat. I wonder if Mike, are you still awake?
Mike, did you fall asleep? Did you fall asleep,
Did you
Mike?
fall asleep on us?
You know Pat's a night owl. Stop it. Stop it.
Yeah.
Don't go to bed. It's like Freddy's
There's
going
no
to get you.
sleeping. There's no sleeping in baseball.
Don't sleep. I'm going to put your hand in hot water when you're sleeping.
Loggins also did songs for Caddyshack 2, Over the Top, and Rocky 4. Yes, he did. No, Mike's out. He's awake. Just giving him a shout to make sure he's awake. Just give him a poke.
Oh, that Michael, somehow you got to get Pat's hand in hot water when he's sleeping.
All right, people. So this is great. I'm glad we had a great crowd. I'm surprised because it's a late night too. So thanks everybody hanging out with us.
Thanks for coming out, guys. I loved seeing
Yeah.
all this stuff. Oh, the Rocky 4 chat. Now I'm going to start really going to town.
I know we can sit there all night with that. Yeah, this was an impromptu thing. I just hit up Brett and Joe probably still sleeping.
Joe went to bed, or he's finding 24-hour targets. So.
I realized what the date was. I was like, oh shit! Shout out to Colin Murdy because I forgot the date. Colin posted.
Colin brought it
TSL
up.
chat.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, that's right. It's August 18th.
We thought Joe would.
What's that?
No, I was gonna say we thought Joe would be around because Joe is Mr. Target now. He wants to do live watch-alongs of him at Target, right? Pat, is that the best way to say it?
So last night we had our weekly call to plan the podcast for Sunday. And where's Joe? Joe's walking around Target at 9:25. He's like that guy, when you're trying to close a store that you want to fucking punch in the mouth because he's still in the store and you want him to get out so you can close the store. Because I'm like, Joe, is there anybody there? He's like, nope, there's nobody here. I'm like, they must hate you.
Oh God, I'll never forget when he freaking called early in the morning when he was at that Walmart at 6 a.m. Dude, look what I found! This NECA Halloween 2 mask. The supposed numbered version. So
he's hardcore, man. What did he say? His record was 6 targets in one day.
Jesus.
I think it was 8, wasn't it? I thought
Was it 8? It might have been. It was ridiculous. I'm like, holy shit! How many freaking
He's
targets?
just driving from Target to Target.
He's a nut when it comes to that.
He's an animal. He's an animal.
Yeah. I mean, I usually hit places up, admittedly, on the way home from work.
Well, yeah, because you drive past 3 malls on the way home.
If I drive past them, I'll run in there real quick. But
Why do you think I went to those Spirits and I went to Meijer for us? Same thing. On the way. Because he teaches his dog to crap in my yard. Up here it is.
Grindhouse, have a good one, man. Thanks for stopping in. See
Yeah, guys, thank you.
Chat here.
We can get off.
Yeah, we're gonna get out. We'll get out of here. It's getting late. I'm gonna go hang out. You gotta hit us up on the. Well, actually, Brett, hang out after this. We'll say our goodbyes. Everybody,
Stefan,
thanks
Rob,
so much for hanging out.
Russell,
everybody, Grindhouse, everybody, Ryan, Travis. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight.
Great conversations, guys. Great conversations.
This was really good. I'm glad that we put this together at the last minute. This was a lot of fun. And be sure to join us October 17th on a Tuesday night when we celebrate the 20th anniversary of the remake of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Because that'll be our watch along then. Shout out to James if he's still in the chat, because James Morant is the one that told me about it today. So I put it on the calendar. So shout out.
That kid next door is a meatball.
Awesome. So everybody have a good night. And we'll see. Everybody, don't forget, see us. We'll be back on Sunday night. Sunday night, we have everything planned. Sunday night, we're going to have our first cosplayers on. We're going to have our buddy Lito and his wife. Is it Jennifer?
And his wife.
I forget. He's going to be Freddy Krueger. His wife does a great Elvira. So Matt, make sure you show up. Good friends of Matt, and make sure you're there with us on Sunday night. So that should be a lot of fun, along with all the other shenanigans that go on a typical podcast, which we always try to make an hour and a half, turns into 3 hours, but well, it is what it is. So everybody have a good night, and Brett, hang out, and we'll see everybody on Sunday night. Where am I? I'm hitting the wrong button. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. Where is it? Okay. Judah?